Engineer 775 with an outdoor boiler prepping tip. If you have an outdoor wood burner or boiler and or are thinking about getting one, I highly recommend you getting an inside water temperature reader. And what it's reading here, I know when I've had this in for 5 years, so I can basically tell you what my stove is doing without going outside by what the temperature is doing. My stove goes between 175 and 185 degrees out at the boiler, and this gauge, and I've checked the temperature. This gauge is off from the factory for some reason, but it usually reads 162 to 172, and that corresponds to the boiler being right where it's supposed to be, meaning it's not running out of wood. Now when I hit the 150s, as I am now, a cold night last night, 15 degrees, there's been 6 showers taken in this house, and I've got radiators running on the shop, which is uninsulated just because I'm doing some testing. I'm pulling a lot of energy out of my boiler, so I knew I was going to be running out of wood. So what's nice though is that I can correlate this temperature. You get used to it, and again, I've had this in for 5 years. Highly recommend putting in a thermometer in a meter like this. This one is from Central Boiler. It's just a simple little digital readout with a 75-foot long wire with a temperature probe at the end that I put in the water line that runs to my water heater. And that way it's always running year round. And I know when I wake up in the morning, I look at this gauge and I know exactly what my wood stove is doing. And so right now I'm saying that my wood stove has got some nice coals in it, but it's probably covered with ash. There's no wood to burn really, it's just some coals. And so I'm going to go out and show you that. So I just basically correlate your temperature to how your wood stove is doing. So just a little prepper tip I have forgot to share. I know a lot of people have, I've talked a lot about my outside wood boiler. I really enjoy it for not just prepping, but for how much money it saves us on our electric bill. So, but it's still, for our system, it's about a 10-year payback for it, but I think it's was well worth it. But it will pay for itself, so I don't have a problem with long-term investments paying for themselves. So yeah, we're 150.8. That means my fire is just about going out, and I don't want that water temperature to get way down. If it gets way down, then when I put wood on it and it cranks up, the firebox goes through too much thermal expansion. It's not good for it. It's good to keep your wood boilers at a high temperature and not oscillate down, going up and down. It's just not good for the longevity of the stove. Also, a lot of the newer stoves demand that you install a thermostatic valve that will basically shunt the water back to the boiler and not allow the house to take all the energy away from it. That's a good protective device. Kind of works like your heart on a cold day. It just, all your extremities, you don't get as much blood, and to protect your core. So it's the wood stove, outdoor boilers with thermostatic valves do the same thing. So anyway, just a prepper tip, and I'll go out and show you what the stove is doing. So again, this Engineer 775 with a prepper tip on outside wood boilers. So to continue that video out here, wow, I don't know how that, it looks funky on the video. Cool, but it's not doing that on the readout, at least to my eye. 165 degrees, and there's a little dot, meaning a solenoid has tripped to open up and allow air in. So it's wanting more wood. It's basically what I'm doing. I'll just show you. I'm checking stuff that make sure I didn't have any leaks, and then it drains back out so this tube doesn't freeze. So that's just a water level indicator. I'm at 165 again. This stove at 175 calls for air, and then it shuts off at 185. That's the way I have mine set anyway. And so let's look inside, and yes, sure enough, we got a nice bed of coals covered in ash, and so the stove is going out, but there's nothing to be, to getting this thing going. So I'm going to just show you. We got a lot of nice coals here. doesn't take anything to get it going. I always like to pull the fire to the front on these, and the air hits it coming in through the bottom of the door. So this will flame up here pretty quickly. I always pull the big coals to the front. I stir up, keep stirring up there's a lot of good coals in there. Even got a fire going in the back there. But try to get this stuff to burn down. As you can see, it's a good sized firebox. It's at least 4.5 foot deep. So it doesn't take much to get it going. Just stir the coals, stir up the coals. That's what we need to do with each other. Stir each other up as Christians, and also stir one another up as preppers. Encourage one another this year. Keep prepping. And so see, it doesn't take much to get it going. And I'm just going to throw some wood on, and we'll be back in business. So just want to share a little prepper tip this morning on outdoor wood boilers. Really seriously consider an indoor thermometer. It tells you exactly what's going on out here, and just saves you a lot of aggravation having to, oh, do I need to put wood on the stove, or how's the stove doing? I know exactly what my stove is doing by that thermometer inside. So anyway, thanks for watching. I just want to show you, just put a couple sticks on, and 1 minute later, not even, yeah, maybe I'll give it 2 minutes. I'll say 2 minutes, and this is the kind of fire that's going on in the wood boiler. So I brag on these. I know everybody's got their opinions, and all wood boilers work. I've been very happy with Central Boiler. I don't sell these things, so I'm not trying to push any product here. I just have used it for over 5 years. Absolutely love it. Yeah, it's been 5 years and a month, and this thing's just taken off. All different theories and debates on which is better and why, and what steel and boilerplate versus stainless. Biggest thing, like anything, folks, is keeping your temperatures constant, and that's another plug for a thermometer, because you can take one of the lesser made stoves, but you keep the temperature constant in a firebox, and you burn good wood, and it'll outlast one of the best made stoves on the market that you abuse by throwing green wood in and not keeping track of the temperature of the firebox. Thermal expansion's the killer on wood boilers, the differential thermal expansion, and also just in the quality of the fuel you're putting in it. Some people burn everything in it. You can, but the key is dry wood, good hardwoods, and keeping the temperature constant on a boiler. So everybody's got their sales pitch, and everybody's got their angle, you know. And this is old school. This isn't a gasification unit, but when you burn wood properly, you are gasifying. You see, there's no smoke in here. Hardly any smoke in here. Coming out of the chimney, see any smoke? No. That's the way you want your stoves to burn. I know that you get behind and you get wet wood, but this is the way fire is supposed to be. Clean, hot, and constant temperature, and your outdoor wood boiler will last a long time. And there's some cheap ones out there that I know some old guys have run for 20 years, and others with the same stove have had them burn out and fail in 3 years. So name of the game is knowing how to use your stove. Okay, that's enough babbling from me. Thanks for watching. It's Engineer 775 signing off.